Girls of Reddit, what is something that guys may consider nice, but is actually creepy to you? Physically picking me up without notice. I'm lucky, being taller than average and heavier than I look, so it doesn't happen a ton to me, but I've known a lot of short petite women that deal with this on the regular. Surprise visits when you tell them you can't meet with them. Telling me to smile when I have a straight face, or when I'm frowning. I don't know any girls that actually like the I was / could be with all these other girls, but I couldn't stop thinking about you line. Telling you how perfect and amazing you are excessively after you just met. Also, talking about how nice they are. The amount of times I've had to tell people to stop yelling out of my car window to girl on the street is pretty sad. You look like a fool trying to impress anybody hanging out the side of a neon. I don't understand what anyone tries to gain in that moment. A guy I work with that's close to my dad's age constantly talks about how I look like his wife did when she was younger, but that she's not pretty like me anymore. I find it super odd. Also, I'm a super untouchy person with people I work with, especially the men. The same guy forced me into a hug. He's at least twice my size and wouldn't let me go because insert other female coworker's name here lets me hug her, so why don't you? And then later called me a bitch because I told him to let me go. I work part-time at a restaurant that's huge for delivery orders. The amount of guys who ask me out over the phone is extremely uncomfortable. I'm not flirting. I'm just being polite and trying to get your order. Guys will frequently say stuff like, "I'm sorry, but you just have a sexy / pretty voice and I wanted to let you know." It's inappropriate and so unnecessary. I have to ask for their phone number so the delivery driver can call them, and they'll say stuff like, "Only if I can get yours," or "You have my address. You should stop by after work. When do you get off?" What the fuck, you have no idea what I look like. I could be ugly as hell. My least favorite is when I ask anything else I can help you with, and they reply depends. Can you be delivered with the pizza? Whenever I get upset or don't respond well to these remarks, they always insist they are just trying to be nice. Calling me after a rapid fire of excessive texts that I don't answer. I don't know if this qualifies as nice, but twice I've been at work with my phone away, and when I've come back to it have a slew of texts asking where I'm / what am I doing / am I okay, followed by a phone call. Damn son, I'm working, chill out. Agreeing with everything I say. I have a male friend who does this, never disagrees with me, never brings up any controversial topics, always expresses interest in what I express interest in, even if I know he doesn't like it, never talks about his hobbies, and basically matches himself to me in every way he can. I know he thinks he's relating to me and trying to make sure I like him, but it comes off as a fuckboy move. Or I want to stay in your good graces, so you'll let me hit that. Or I'm so insecure in myself that I feel like I need to conform myself to this girl so she'll like me. It's very creepy. Not to the going to wear your skin as a suit point of creepy, but the I'm secretly stalking you and copying what you do point of creepy. I had an aged relative who used to tell the story of how her husband, then of some 50 years, had first asked her out over the phone. She was a telephone operator, and then continued to call back and ask to speak with her so he could ask her on a date over and over again for months until she agreed to go out with him. He then asked her to marry him and was rejected some 7 or 8 times before she agreed. I've never heard this story and thought www, that's sweet. On the contrary, it always felt weird, pathetic, and stalkerish, and left me wondering whether social norms had changed or if my relative had just developed Stockholm syndrome over the years. Randomly adding me on Facebook and trying to develop a friendship, maybe more, and then not getting the hint that I prefer making friends outside of Facebook, and keep texting me. Honestly, it is not cool or modern. I find it rather disturbing when I receive random friend requests from people I haven't even one common friend with. Not exactly creepy, but a lot of guys are convinced that telling a girl that she doesn't need all that makeup is one of the nicest things you can say to a girl. Don't get me wrong. It can be super nice for girls who genuinely think they need makeup or won't go out in public without it. But if a girl is wearing really dark makeup or makeup that is obviously not very natural, we are probably not wearing it because we feel self-conscious without it. Makeup is an artistic outlet for a lot of women, and personally, it's the one thing I do in the mornings a few days a week that is really fun for me, and it's frustrating when guys can't see it as anything more than a girl trying to look prettier. Believe me, I know I probably look more conventionally attractive without bright purple eyeshadow, but I don't really care because it's so fun to put on. When guys talk about how much they love eating girls out, and then when I say that I don't enjoy receiving oral sex, they tell me that I just haven't been with someone that knew what they were doing. I'm pretty sure I know what I like and what I don't like, and what I like is to give pleasure and not to receive it. Asking why I'm not smiling and telling me to be happy. Maybe I'm fine and relaxed and enjoying myself and just don't feel like smiling. Maybe it's none of your goddamn business either way. I was operating a camera at a concert recently, right at the edge of the stage. The singer actually stopped his show to come over and ask me why I wasn't smiling. I'm working, you old prick. I'm not here to entertain you, nor am I here to be entertained by you. I'm here to make money and go home, so leave me out of your show and let me focus on my job. Here's a situation. I was taking an upper level university class. I sit in the front, so I can grab the left-handed desk and pay attention better. A guy sits next to me. Sometimes we have to get into work groups and we are grouped together due to where we sit. He tries to talk to me beyond normal small talk, before class, after, during work groups, and I'm not interested in him. I'm not interested in anyone. I'm not looking for a relationship. I shut down the conversations before and after class beyond small talk, and I think that's the end of it. But no. Out of nowhere he asks me out because he thinks I'm interested but shy. I say no thanks. He gets butthurt and starts making group projects difficult. Won't talk to me for discussion group, etc. Acts awkward and quiet. Grade slipping. At that point I have to move to a different spot in class where I don't want to sit and will have to use a right-handed desk 6 weeks into the semester and stare at the back of some guy's nasty hair because this guy can't keep his mind on schoolwork. Don't ask people out if they are at work or they are otherwise captive. Went on a date last week with a guy who kept telling me he had a working with children check and a gun license. In Australia this isn't something most people have. He insisted that made him the safest guy in Australia. I suppose he was trying to make me feel comfortable, and if he had said it once it might have been a little weird and not creepy, but he said it multiple times. It felt like he was trying to get me to let my guard down. Throw in the fact that he kept talking about his big family farm that backs onto a national park, and that he could take care of my horrible ex and no one would find the body. I was more than a little creeped out. Suffice to say I won't be seeing him again. Catcalling. I don't care if think you're complimenting me. If you really cared about complimenting me, you would approach me like a normal person and say something, not yell about how long my legs are from across the street. Thinking I'm playing hard to get. No means no. This isn't a creepy romantic comedy. First date excessive eye contact or admiring looks. Yes, eye contact is nice and a good sign of respect, and I know you're keen to show interest, but darling, there's a fine line you crossed into creepy staring. Giving me gifts regularly. It feels like you're trying to bribe me into a friendship or relationship, and I don't like that feeling at all. Asking for a hug. If I wanna give you one, I'll go in for it. I'll give you the hug look. Also making an effort to walk me places / catch transport. Unless I'm really close to someone, there's just too much pressure. I just wanna nap on the train. I just wanna read Reddit as I walk to my next class. PLS. Coming up to me randomly at the gym to compliment my workout. First of all, I'm trying to work out and I don't want to talk. Second of all, what am I supposed to say? Thanks. Since you're the gym overlord and king of exercise, your compliment is really meaningful. I know the guys are trying to be nice, but it's creepy. My platonic male friend was just telling me about the way he approaches girls in public. He says he is aggressive and will walk up to a girl and immediately say that he finds her attractive and would like to take her out. I don't think I'm alone. in thinking that's incredibly creepy. The feeling that creeps me out the most is walking by a construction site or something like that, and literally speed walking by with my head down trying to avoid any eye contact, and I still get catcalled. Or walking down the street and I happen to look up and see the creepy guys in a truck completely turned around on the passenger side staring at me and smiling. No matter how hard I try to convey it, though body language or even verbally, that I'm just minding my own business and to please leave me alone, apparently it's too hard to do that. I'm a guy, but I had a creepy experience once as an older dude hit on my girlfriend at the time. We were at a friend's house and he had a bunch of state troopers as friends. One of the troopers was a total douchebag. At first he just casually mentioned that I had done good, and if he were in my shoes he would feel pretty fortunate. Well, that turned into him slobbering all over himself, drunk, laughing like a madman, and every sentence he said got creepier and creepier. Like that jelly bean from Rick and Morty. Man, if I was in your shoes. Hehehe, sips up drool. He was openly getting more aggressive as the night went on. He kept saying partial sentences then biting his lip, as if to keep himself from saying something. Millimeters the things I would do. I wanted to fucking shoot him. Creepy ass son of a bitch. Honest to God, if you're anything like that man, I want you to know you disgust me to my core and you fucking ruined the game for everyone else. Wound up calling him out for being a sicko and left early. Anything very affectionate when you haven't reached that stage in a relationship. So, a gift from someone you've just chatted to a couple of times, or even gone on 1 or 2 dates with, I would find exceedingly creepy. P.S. Some girls are greedy and materialistic, and will accept the gift happily, just because they want the gift. It does not necessarily mean they like you as a person. The same goes for leaning in for a kiss when there has been no previous hint of romance between you. Offering to pay for everything, if we are not dating. So creepy. I went on a 2-day field trip with an ecology class and this one guy literally offered to pay for everything for me. I told him I couldn't accept him paying for anything, and he just winked and said it's okay, you can owe me. No thanks. Even in a relationship I like paying for dates / meals / other stuff to be equitable. I'm well out of college and high school by now, but there was a classmate of mine that loved to message me on Facebook and literally expect to talk to me every day, even though he knew my boyfriend. It's been 6 years, and he's still messaging me hey every once in a while. I haven't seen him in 5 years. That's creepy. We were never friends, we were never close. He would just ask me about my day, and when I didn't ask him about his, the conversation would end. But the next day, hey, horrific, creepy. I stopped responding years ago, but it doesn't stop. Constantly asking me if I'm okay, and you can tell me anything. I share several classes with a male friend and we live in the same dorm building as well. I'm usually pretty talkative, but some days I just don't feel like socializing. There's been a couple days where said friend kept asking me what's wrong, that I can tell him anything, and that he will always be there for me. Once, fine. I appreciate it. But he asked 12 times in a 50-minute class, followed by texting me all day with same questions. I know something was wrong, just tell me, and even coming down to my floor to knock on my door and ask me again. I felt very oppressed. I appreciate people asking me what's wrong, but if I specifically say just don't feel like talking today, yeah no, you need to back off.